Welcome to Fortnite Save the World All Dungeons. So Dungeons is a bit inside Save the World, kind of like a roguelike sort of thing. So we'll talk more about the dungeons as we go through them. The first one is pretty bare bones. The other ones have like modifiers, so we can easily talk about them as we go through the first one. But before we do that, let's talk about the hero system of this game. So in this game, you have four hero classes which specialize in multiple stuff. So you have ninjas, which is like melee damage, soldiers, ranged weapon damage, outlanders, which is like abilities stuff like that, and then last but not least, you have constructors, which is like building stuff and building health increase. But for dungeons, especially for solo play, soldiers is the 100% way to go. Out like a ninja when doing co-op runs, get to like go through fast is also good as well. But for solo, we'll be doing a soldier, and that's because the minigun ability that we have completely demolishes the monoliths that we have to destroy for one of the keys in each level of the dungeon. So that's why we're going to use the soldier class. So with the help of our commander, which decreases our cooldown of the go-in commando, which is a minigun, and also this one, which increases the duration, what we have is called the infinite minigun. What that basically means is by the time our minigun, unless we cancel it, by the time the ability runs out, the cooldown has already gone through, and we can like instantly use the minigun again. So, which is very nice. So the other ones kind of just increase damage or do something a little bit more damage wise. But another one to keep note of is the escape artist. Is that another one of our abilities? Shockwave. When we use it, it increases our movement speed by 40%. So yeah, we can go fast. Because Soldier is not a very fast class, so this will be a very helpful to get through the levels quickly. And also, one final thing. So the upgrades, we'll be using the hover turret, which is basically we'll be using for the boss, which will just help take it down a little bit quicker. Well, let's go ahead and get started. There are multiple levels of dungeons, and it's kind of just based on what your power level is. Most people do the 88 zones because that's the lowest that you see when you're like near max level or max level. But there's also like a category split for 140 because for one it's the highest zone, but also there is some unique twist to it. Like there's no mini map, so you'll see once you go in, one of the keys is basically just hidden inside the layout. It's like certain spawns, but you can see where the key location is on the mini map, or like the kind of like the general direction of where it is. But on the 140 zones, you can't see that. But we won't be doing that today because it's actually pretty hard solo and pretty time consuming. But so we'll be just doing the 88 zones. And also, because of that, we won't have to. There are traps inside. There are 2 damage traps, which for 88 zones, we pretty much can just let them be. They won't hinder us too much.
Dungeon. The last guy here dropped the dungeon keys. Not surprisingly.
Oh, this is really bad key spawn.
Looks like someone's ready for the dungeon.
So this kind of a sprint, this crouching I'm doing, Basically, it's just a way to help save our sprint management. So when you crouch or when you slide, our sprint meter does not go down at all. But it's going to teleport. But we keep our momentum.
Unexplored areas. You build over my traps, they don't work. So don't.
So one little strat we'll be trying to, you might have heard me say earlier, is there's the teleport trap that we just passed right there. And that basically teleports us to a random spot in the dungeon. So we really want to hit one of the early ones. And that will basically take us further into the dungeon, hopefully. Obviously, it could probably just put us in the same spot and not help us at all.
Now descend deeper into the dungeon. The dungeon.
But it's not worth risking it later on in the dungeon, just because it could just take us right back to the beginning and just would lose us time. Like that one, I just almost hit. There you go.
Keys around here somewhere.
Got the key. What are you doing?
Found all the keys. Now, march into darkness.
And I'm kind of building walls there just because if a huss hits us while we're opening the door, it actually interrupts the animation. So we want to avoid that. So that teleport we actually don't hit just because the spawn can basically spawn right here, so we kind of don't want to hit that. There is a possible key spawn, but it actually didn't end up happening, so... Actually getting a pretty bad key spawn.
Not surprisingly, the husks have. We're trying something new. A new workshop in a fight for your life promotion. So, if you defeat the dungeon boss, you can bring
Alright. So basically the first 3 floors that we basically went through, how they work is that you need those 2 keys to unlock the next part. One key is basically just hidden in the map, and another key you need to destroy 3 monoliths to get inside. And that is going to be true for the first 4 of the 5 dungeons we're going to play. The last one will be slightly different, but we'll talk about that when we get there. And so the last, and also,
a boss fight is now available.
yeah, so the key spawns have just, it's kind of random where they are, same with the monolith spawns, but they do have set points
Summon the Vlad.
as well. So we kind of just check through all of them.
Too comfortable.
If it was 140, we'd have to like actually check through. It would still show up on a HUD room close by, so that is good.
There's always more.
And so on the last stage, or the last level, we have a boss, which our first one is Vlad, basically just a regular taker. Has 2 stages, so we're just waiting it to return. And we'll kind of use our hover turrets here. When it comes back.
There's my Vlad.
It does have some invincibility when it returns, so it's to wait. You know, I use my minigun. Nice.
Is this 2 out of 3? Please? I could really use
Not a terrible time. 5:39, not too bad. Oh, like when it comes down to like world records, it totally completely comes down to RNG. So like when we first started that first floor, with that when I said it's not teleport, it could basically the spawns could either be a floor trap or a teleport trap, and luckily it was not a teleport trap. So we had to actually go through the complete first section. So it all comes down to like having a good RNG teleport spot and where it teleports you to. Because if you get all three in like one minigun cycle, that's like perfect RNG. Alright, coming up next, we have the Inferno dungeon. So this one is a bit bigger. Crypts is definitely the smallest of the five. So like I said before, the first four have exactly the same amount of requirements. You need 3 monoliths per stage for a key. So for this dungeon, it basically, like the name suggests, there's lava everywhere. Also, we take a lot of damage if we do touch that, which we will have to be careful of in the third level because there is like a shortcut through the level, but we have to go through a bunch of lava, so we have to be mindful of our health during that. And our building materials, because we can also just build across. But then if a husk touch a lava spot, it will turn them into fire elementals. And then also our building, when you do build, they do take extra damage over time, which we really don't have to worry about too much. In a 140 zone, like in the boss stage, that'll be a problem, but not too much for 88.
This time, you will. I must feast upon interlopers. Anyway, come on in. Great to see you again.
This time we got good key RNG at the beginning now.
Find some keys. Meet me at the door, ready to descend into endless pits of fire and despair.
Alright, onward to the dungeon. I was gonna teleport, but I didn't spawn in here any monoliths. I'm gonna skip that one.
Flames that burn in unexplored areas. Building over traps disables them, so could you not?
Also, meanwhile, they've like done these
There is now
oh, I got stuck. These dialogues are actually pretty funny in the dungeons. It's a pretty bad key spawn. Go ahead. Close.
How do we like that? Watch for traps. Troll. Get the troll to escape.
Oh, am I doing?
We got one of those shield triggers.
Oh, all in one spawn. That's ill. Oh, my bad. I misspoke earlier. It's, I missed the key. Or is it later? It's later. I'm stupid. So it's the outside floor and then 4 floors.
Now one step closer to throwing yourself into a pit of flames. You must be so proud.
Oh, I got stuck.
Now one step closer to throwing yourself into a pit of flames.
That was a really bad second floor.
Let's get this over with already. Go downstairs.
This is kind of where shortcut is. Look, we have a good piece gone.
I'm not happy about the progress you're making.
No! Why?
Sage is waiting for you. If you survive the journey.
Wait, where is this key? Oh, it's a really bad spot. God. Oh, that's a really bad Inferno.
To throwing yourself into a pit of flames.
Oh my.
You must be so proud. That's one key down. You are now one step closer to throwing yourself into a pit of flames. You must be so proud.
Let's get this over with already.
Alright, let's ignore that mess of what just happened. Alright. Final boss, Siege. Should have say a Smasher. What's cool about this stage that the lava, I will actually like rise and fall while you do the fight. 608.
Couple of hard years.
It was good. The third floor was a mess. The other floors were pretty good.
Now he's back. And he is crazy. I suggest succumbing to the heat now rather than facing him.
I kind of like how the dialogue keeps going because we beat the boss so quickly. Alright, Dungeon 3 is the Grotto. So for this one, it's not too bad. It is a really big dungeon. But, basically the only really special modifier for this one is that this is water everywhere. And there are prawns if you do just like sit in water. That's basically the only thing. For this one, the boss, there are 4 of them. Which, when you do, if you do like 140, there's actually a different class we will use. that basically helps with that because they have so much health in 140 zones with 4 of them. It's insane. But like there's a lefty and righty ability also with the soldier. And it's like an ability where they can bounce off walls, which the carbide hero has. And so basically get all 4 to teleport to you, because they do teleport if you like stick up in the air. Get them all in one box, just use the ability, and it drains their health so fast. But we don't have to do that in 88, just because the time it takes for them to teleport is actually pretty long. We can just mini gun them in this.
Key.
Yeah, this one is definitely the biggest one of the 5.
It was a bad idea. The piranhas would attack whenever we stood still. That's when I discovered you could disable traps by closing over.
That was a really good teleport. It brought us right to the end.
Transforming us from a band of awkward goofballs into a pile of skeletons. Then we go to title, You Get Swarmed by Monsters, soundtrack swells! Ha-ha! This is box office gold! Someone take notes. That's one key down.
We're kind of missing a monolith. There's one, okay.
Secret door. That's one key down. Find the next
That was a really good first floor.
descend. Was it our imagination, or did the purple flames go out when we drew near? We couldn't believe it. This below our sleepy little town was an actual ancient temple.
I've got to use the
And monsters. So many monsters. The depths of the grotto beckoned, and we continued our descent.
There's the piranhas. There's also the little pods around, which they actually do a lot of damage. So we want to avoid those. When they explode. I'm stuck.
Monsters lurk deep within the grotto. Saw, murk, flood, surge. 4 legendary beasts sent a feast.
Wait, the guy I was talking about now is the final bosses.
Encountered down to his watery grave.
Oh, I freaking knew it. That brought us back so far. That's definitely the worst level of the 4. Or they got the floor levels. So this backstage have so much, but you like don't see them until you're right on them. Get rid of this one. Alright, you made it through.
Visions of sea voyages. And salty sea captains sailing under the black flag of the Jolly Roger. Yet, even in that moment, we couldn't shake the feeling that someone, something rather, was annoyed. Welcome? None of us remember why we continued our perilous trek into the depths of the grotto.
Alright, thank God. So there is actually one key location. There's a secret door over on this wall over there I'm shooting at. There's a secret door, but basically you have to find like a a secret button, and that will basically open it. There's actually a key spawn in that door. And when you get that, it's so annoying trying to find the button for it. Oh. Luckily we did not get that button. Or not that key spawn. Alright, finally we get to the boss. So we are going to make a little base up here, just because there are 4 of them, so... Even this, you can see how much health that they have. So sometimes we'll try to find a another weapon. Might be a better play. Like a rocket launcher. I forgot how much health they actually do have. Maybe the carbide idea is not too bad for solo. Usually in duo it's fine. I haven't done this in solo in a while. Taking longer than I thought I would. I'd say honestly it'd be kind of RNG because you can get kind of a rocket launcher from these, which those can actually do some good amount of damage. Maybe like routing a treasure chest into it would be good. That's still kind
We
of
couldn't believe it. We survived.
relying on RNG.
When we returned home, they would greet us as heroes.
Finally, that's the one that's the killer dungeon. Those those takers have just so much health. That's the 88 zone. Just I just imagine that in a 140 zone. You can see why carbide is needed for that. All right, the fourth zone, the Labyrinth. So this is pretty much a maze. So hopefully I don't get lost. So the dungeons just came back recently, so I haven't had much time to practice. It's like a seasonal event. Luckily, if we do get in, we can do it. One of our epic friends, Evan, who also works with GDQ sometimes or volunteers, said that he's able to get the event. Like I'll be able to play it even if it's not in the season because it's like a seasonal, so technically it's not available through some times of the year, but he'll be able to let us play it. But it just came back a couple days ago, so I haven't had too much time to practice since it did come back. But this is hopefully I just don't get lost. And there's also another unique modifier for this where once we go inside, we actually are taking damage over time, and we need to collect these. Oh, the key's over there. We need to collect these little time stones or shields to. Oh, what the heck? There's a glitch in this game where sometimes abilities just don't work. And that's exactly what happened with that shockwave. It just did not deal any damage. I was just stuck there. That's a glitch. Is a glitch that's been in the game for a very long time, which is annoying, but nothing you can do about it.
We hope you find your stay so satisfying that you never leave.
He's over here.
If you build over my traps, they don't work. So
this is where the 140 zone can be kind of annoying because there's just so much area and these spawns are ridiculous. So this one's probably the worst for 140, just trying to find the second key.
you found a coin. Perhaps the coins you find will become valuable.
Oh, wrong one. Wait, that's the right way. What am I doing? Oh, because he was blocking the door. This is the thing that's basically causing us to take damage. You can grab the shield that's up here.
After Sir Rave passed away, the mansion was purchased by the Float Planet Society. A rather secretive cult
Basically like a time thing for this. Nice, all three at once. Now we're on to the maze of finding the other key.
I sincerely wish we did not leave them lying about. You found the first key. Well done.
There it is.
Doors. So much more exciting.
Oh, I don't want to shoot that.
Or escape. The dungeon beckons you ever deeper.
Onward to the third floor.
This region of the mansion was built by Raven's grandmother. From her diary, we've come to the conclusion she was not driven by madness. Rather, she was too stubborn to admit she was lost. And tried to
Any more? Please? No? No, sad. Alright, we didn't get too lost, so that's good. Now we're on the boss, which is actually a combination of this is a smasher, but we also have a second smasher that joins the fun. Unless they just didn't want to spawn, there's usually a second smasher. Not the boss, but there's usually like a second one. Unless he just died instantly.
quite unfortunate.
Ah, that was actually a pretty good labyrinth.
We've invested. You won, okay? But please don't escape.
For
My boss, man.
for how confusing that one can be. The first floor was kind of slow, but the other ones were fine. Alright, so those were the original 4 dungeons. I think it was 2 years ago in 2021. Is that, or it could have been last year, I forgot. But they added, yeah, I think it was 2020. So they added the 5th dungeon, the lab. And we were, this was like after a period of pretty lack of updates on this game. I think it could have been partially due to COVID, but they like just ended like the year before the early access thing to it. And so pretty much at this point, the community was kind of like bummed out with the lack of updates. We wanted more updates because we love this game. And when this came out, we were so happy when it came out. And we were actually very skeptical because we didn't know how it would have went. It could have just been like a same old, but they actually added some new stuff to the lab, and it's actually a pretty different. For one, even the starting zone completely different, but there are different requirements. It's still the monolith and 1 random key, but we actually for the later levels we need 4 monoliths instead of 3, so that's still the same. We actually have a unique boss, which is the Hyde character. It's actually an in-game Fortnite character. It's not just the other four. It's basically just regular mist monsters, just as a mini boss, which is like usually how the mini bosses are in this game. They're just a regular. But this one actually has a unique one. But we'll actually have to, which are in the other ones, collect blue glow, which you'll see why in the bits. And the music is actually kind of chill as well. Oh, I fell down.
So, I'm giving you the short version. There's been a desire to explore some experimental research. So I referred to one of my old colleagues, neglecting to mention his unfortunate... How to phrase this for your pedestrian mind? Corporeal roommate situation. I won't be able to do it justice. You'll need to see for yourself.
Oh, it's in the cave. Oh, it's in the cave. Not the best key spawn, but...
You need one more key.
I like how I said the music's pretty chill after I turned music off. So this also released with the Chaos Agent quest line, so that's why, I think, yeah. That's why we have a different dungeon master for this one.
Even for me. Let's check it out.
Hello? Come in. We are so happy you're here. Please excuse the mess. We are going through a series of difficult mergers. Chaos Agent? Is that you?
Yes. On behalf of the Villainous Council, we're here for the full tour.
Welcome to the end of our long war. Set aside everything you think you know about the Hippocratic Oath and get ready to scream. Sorry. Is just a wee bit excited about all the scientific progress we've been making.
Yes. Hello, Hyde.
Yes, hello, Hyde. Okay, so now we will need 4
Of course, the Villainous Council.
monoliths.
Sorry, that's the first line of the talk. You're still alive! You're welcome! I pause for laughter, and then we go to the first slide. Distinguished colleagues.
I lost on that one.
We would
I got the wrong way.
welcome you to
There we go.
our talk on hybridization and the continuation of the species. Forgive me, but you're going to have to use your imagination here for the slide.
Actually, the secret doors in this one are actually locked behind blue glow as well, so that's another reason you would want blue glow. Oh, we don't do secret doors. But those things right there, whoops, that's distracted. So those are what will give us blue glow. Oh, come on. So that is what will give us blue glow. It's like a little stage with that. I don't want to activate those. There's in the final room there are like 5 of them together, so we'll be getting all the blue glow in that one.
Unless this must be a renovated geothermal energy plant. That may be the good doctor, but he has exquisite taste. If you see a lit brazier, it means we haven't been there before. That's one key down.
Alright. Onward to the third one.
Go further.
Okay, so now in the talk, we do a little breakout session.
I love breakout sessions.
They are chaotic and evil, so that tracks. Then we move on to the real meat and potatoes of the talk.
Emphasis on meat. And so meat to other meat. Yes, we get it. Thank you, Hyde. You're going to want to get it on the ground floor. By proceeding to the 4th floor, where the presentation is. Yes, so it's your classic Jekyll and Hyde situation. I probably should have mentioned it earlier. But as you know, I revel in chaos and
I
disorder.
think it's the one up here.
His monstrous barbarism threatens to change humanity. Literally. And the VC is quite fond of humanity as it is. Gives a villain something to dream of
Now it's
dominating
down.
someday. So, as much as I hate to say this, shall we put a stop to this madness?
Oh, that is wow. That okay? We spawned right. We spawned right here. That was wow. That was unlucky.
That's one key down.
Luckily, we spawned right next to it. That was we didn't lose like any time.
Go further. Imprisoned hearts.
All right, so here's where I guess we could save some of the things since there's 2 of them.
Maybe it's time
But we would just be doing 2 of them.
beating the heart of the issue. These are not just hearts. They're the solution.
The VC has reviewed your plans. This will end humanity as we know it. And we
Oh, I canceled my ability.
human husk hybrids.
That vortex.
Come on
Oh, this is
now.
bad. It's gonna.
To experience the next stage in human evolution.
Is there a time limit? Yeah, they crap. Six. I'm risking it. God. Take her. Oh, it's really bad.
Are you ready for this? It could get
Alright, so yeah, we just get 6 Willow, and that's for this final boss. They actually gain health with these siphons. So we're just gonna destroy these 2.
Science isn't about making the world better, it's about
Nice.
getting it done.
and what you're getting done is
It's cool
a
that
life-changing
that hide
plant.
basically has like a flinger effect, but also can melee attack you.
Those electrical coils are attuned to hide in the dog's
Nice.
physiology. If a chaotic
We definitely lost a lot of time to that final room
inside the transformation.
because of that minigun glitch that happened.
Over those things.
But yeah, that is basically the all dungeons category.
Unexpected and quite
Sadly, I wasn't able to find anyone to join me, so that's why I only a solo. But yeah, that's basically it.